You, on the other hand, have defied gravity and been around for almost 50 years in television. How is it possible that you never lost your groove?
Because I have been clear about my passion and my purpose this entire time, and that is my North Star. So that light, that star, that guide post will never dim. I don't care the circumstances, the ups or downs, the left or right, never diminishes my passion for what I do.
I mean, uncredited role in Dirty Harry. How did you land that?
The director saw me in a play, No Place to Be Somebody, which was my first professional play. He saw me in that play. Charles Gordon won the Pulitzer Prize for that play, the first black playwright to win a Pulitzer. And he cast me in Dirty Harry. And from that day to this one, it's just been, one great love affair. You know what I mean?
So you got your start in theater. What were those
I
humble?
did.
What were those humble beginnings like?
Well, it was so much fun because I loved what I was doing. I loved the theater. I loved creating characters. That's where you really learn to act. You learn to act in theater. Uh, you learn how to act on film, but in terms of character development, you learn that in the theater because once, let's say, curtain goes up, you have to sustain that performance for 90 minutes to 2 hours or more, depending on the play. So, that's where my roots are, and that's where they will always remain.
Nowadays, people getting their training on YouTube. What foundation you think is better?
Oh, of the theater, of course. You can learn a lot on YouTube. There's a lot of information on YouTube, but you can't act with people on YouTube. You don't learn to act until you are with someone and there's an exchange. It's like you can hit a tennis ball against a wall all day long, but until you are on the court and you don't know whether it's going to be a hard shot down the line, a backhand cross court, or whether somebody's lobbing, you have to play the game as you play it. You can't play the game in your own head. You have to play it live, back and forth. What's the exchange? And that's the beauty about being on a stage is you learn to act by talking and relating and exchanging with the other character or other characters in the play.
You're known for Poltergeist, but you were, can we call them black exploitation films in the 70s? And how important
Yes, you can.
and how important are those films to our culture to this day?
Well, those films were important because they gave a foundation. They allowed, even though the characters sometimes were caricatures, the stories were not written by black writers, a lot of them, but it gave us a basis to learn the craft so that you did it, you looked at it, you grew, you became better at it. And without that foundation, there's a lot of people that would not have been able to set the stage for people that would come after them and stand on their shoulders. I've been in the business since '69. So there's a lot of, leading men who are standing on my shoulders and Billy D. Williams' shoulders and James Edwards and Sidney Poitier, because we were the foundation. We learned through those black exploitation films how to create our own films and how to become better film actors, and that less is more. So that training was valuable.
That was a humble brag. I've been around since '69. Well, we appreciate it. Uh, the new book, The Artist Roadmap. What kind of little nugget can we get out of that? Without giving away the book, what can people expect in that book?
Well, I wrote this book as a culmination of my experience as an actor through all these years and my experience as a teacher. I've been teaching since 1980, and I've had the pleasure and been blessed to have been able to teach some of the greatest names in the business because I was teaching for my mentor, Milton Kitselis. And so I was able to be in the rooms with George Clooney, Michelle Pfeiffer, Patrick Swayze, Giovanni Ribisi, Jim Carrey, on and on and on and on and on. And I was part of their study, and I was part of their teaching process. And so that experience as a teacher and that experience as an actor in the trenches, I put this book together to not only teach you how to become a accomplished artist, but how to survive and to a roadmap to be able to survive this marathon and to live and create as on the highest level possible. Because it's one thing to be an actor, but it's another thing to know how to have a career and understand the business of acting. So in my book, I look at the passion it takes, I look at the application, skill for application, and I look at the strategy, how to negotiate a career, a sustainable career. And it's not just for actors, it's for anyone.
Wow. Looking forward to that read. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say that I'm on a book tour. I was in South Carolina at South Carolina State, where I did master classes down there. Now that book has become part of their lexicon of books. It's going to be, in their what's the word am I looking for? A textbook. And then I've been on a tour. I just left Connecticut last night. I was up in Danbury, Connecticut, at the Booksmith shop, and up at Putnam at the Wolperdinger's bookshop up there. So I'm out on a book tour, trying to share my knowledge with people all over this country.
I mean, you have a long career yourself. You've went from, like you said, roles in movies controlled by Caucasians, even Blacula Scream and all those black exploitations, to now working on a production that is run solely by a man of color. How does it make you feel? And what have you seen in this progression of African Americans controlling now the narrative in their films?
Man, it's really a blessing. It's so great. When you look at some of the early things that I did, like All in the Family, Good Times, those were white men who were writing scripts for Black people that really didn't understand the nuance of the Black culture, but their jokes were meant to make them laugh. And now today, Tyler Perry, whose sensibility is about a Black man who had a Black experience, who has this massive studio where the majority of the people hired there are Black people. In the beginning, it was hard to find 2 or 3 Black people working on a film or a television set behind the scenes. Now it's harder. It's equally as hard, although there are a lot of white people working, but 90% of the people that we see are Black faces in those skilled positions in front of and behind the camera. And he's doing so much for the industry, and he's got so much product out there. You see so many Black people working. It's just a godsend. And I have nothing but the maddest respect for him as an artist and a person. He's an amazing human being.
I have a daughter that wants to go to Cambridge. I'm trying to guide her, and I know that you have some experience on being a dad in that regards. What kind of support can you give your child that really, really is helpful?
Support her dreams. Support her dreams. Listen to her and ask her what her dreams are so that she can be clear about her own dreams, and you be the best support that you can be, and allow her to live her best life. And the first question you want to ask is why you want to do this. If she understands the why, then she's going to be the conductor of her train throughout her entire life.
Well, thank you so much. It seems like you're on to your next interview. Thank you so. I could talk to you all day. Hopefully, I could bump into you somewhere on your book tour.
I hope so too.
Take care.
Thank you, sir.